sabhyam parivritta patra kamalayir divyer jagat karanaihi vishvutkiranam anikadihanilayai svachandamatmi chayatajutam padashambhavam tucharanam Deepankuragrahinam pratyakshakshara vigraham Guru padam dhyayed vibhum shashvatam. Shri Gurave. So, we can start to talk.
Yes, Adesh Guruji, and welcome back again.
My greetings.
Today, maybe we can speak a little bit more about the topics of the yoga and Tantra, and we can say in a way spirituality in general, right? So the first question kind of which arises in my mind is, for instance, when someone asks me like, what is the meaning of the spirituality and being spiritual, whatever, right? You know, sometimes my answer is that is the ability to perceive everything, you know, beyond this, you know, cultural hypnosis and this schizophrenic splitting of the dualistic mind and the spellbound hypnotic state in which the human beings exist, actually, while, you know, believing that it is the only reality and truth in that moment. So what is your take on this phenomenon? And what do you think actually spirituality is from the point of your direct experience as a yogi and a guru?
Okay, this is a very profound question and very broad. Therefore, I try to answer only essentially. For me, spirituality is associated with wisdom of person, wisdom, compassion, then capacity of understanding, deep awareness of yourself, understand yourself, then mutual understanding between people. This sort of state quite rare. You know, sometimes people, they have cultural background, they have the same language. They could be, you know, from the same background, but even if they use the same language, even if they are philosophers, great philosophers, but even in that case, you can find misunderstanding between them. Spirituality, for me, it is a sober state of consciousness. A sober state, it is a yogic state. We need this condition, psychophysical condition, for many reasons. We have different activities, different tasks, different dharmas, means, you know, life mission. Everyone has own responsibility in this social, you know, system. Yoga, as Bhagavad Gita say, karmasu kaushalam, means you do skillfully, perfectly what you must to do in this life. Very aware in broad sense in particular. So it is a serious task. This life, it is a school, big school, in which we, you know, develop ourselves. There are many qualities through which you can describe. There is no one quality of it. There are no few, you know, kinds of condition.
Many.
Many. What I can tell you about culture. Nowadays, we can see how global psychopaths, they try to destroy all kinds of cultures. So it is a big question. So what is freedom of culture, and how we understand culture? Because culture in Sanskrit, it is Sanskriti. So what is Sanskrit? Sanskrit, that language Sanskrit means purified or perfect language created by Panini. I'm talking about most important sources in India.
Yeah.
But what is Sanskrit? Sanskrit, when you improve yourself in many ways. First of all, it concerns your personal mission in this life, swadharma. Then some people, they believe that culture, it is something artificial, but it is not really like that. It depends on the level of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the low level of understanding of culture, then we should be away from this. Then we decide to follow renunciation, to renounce all attachments. But where these attachments? It is only in our mind. Then you extend your consciousness through renunciation. Then when you get broad consciousness, you return back to culture and review it. So it's happening constantly with us, with everyone, naturally. And also culture, at Sanskrit, it is not against of the nature, because nature, even in Sanskrit, prakriti, the same root kri. This is primordial source of all creation, all universe. Then people, they engage to artificial ways quite often. They try to create something new. So nowadays they create that AI, then the GPT chat, and many they it is a big question. So about our future. And I don't think that in anything good or bad, but it depends on how you use it. So if you are tool of that electronic reality, then it is problem. If it is your tool, then the situation is completely different. We need inner freedom and deep awareness through challenges of modern life.
Right. So the combination of, I would say, integrity and dignity plus the motives which are driving the person towards something are of much more important thing than whether it is a good or bad, that AI thing. But same as the knife, you could cut something off and use the knife for the good or to kill somebody. So yeah.
You can extend it to all things, in this life.
Yeah. And we are playing gods. And you mentioned the prakriti. Actually, it is funny sometimes when people say, even here, for instance, they said, oh, this weekend I will go into the nature. Like the nature is something completely isolated from us, right? So we are away from the prakriti in a way.
It's everywhere. We are parts of the nature.
Yeah.
Inside, everywhere. It is omnipresent reality.
Right. So did you want to maybe add something a little more, or we can continue further on.
We can continue.
Yeah.
I think we have many questions.
We will see. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
We like to play around and improvise, right? In terms of yoga and tantra, what they actually are and what they represent to you personally, and on the other side, because we very often hear about the misrepresented ideas about in the West, specifically in the West, about the yoga and tantra in relation to what they really are. So what yoga and tantra represents to you personally, what they really are, and maybe we can say in a way, what are the reasons why people go and misuse these ancient systems and techniques? And
Okay, a good question.
yeah, important.
Yeah. But if you ask this question to any yoga teacher, or anyone who declare himself as a yoga practitioner, so he will disagree. He would disagree that his yoga is wrong, and
Okay, yeah.
it is not so easy to be honest, even with yourself. So what is yoga? What is yoga? We can merge into Sanskrit grammar, but I try to simplify as much as possible, but we need a deep understanding of it. Yoga samadhi. This is explanation of Vyasa. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So this is a very famous definition. What is yoga? This is a famous sutra which we got from Patanjali. And Vyasa said yoga is samadhi. So what is samadhi? Samadhi, you can translate it as total recollection. When each part of your nature engage in the process of concentration. So this is samadhi.
Mm.
So, but of course, you can say this is sober state of mind. Of course, if they're complete surrendering in that process, then there is annihilation of ego. When you engage to something so sincerely, you forget yourself. So there is no ahamkara. Yoga, it is a process through which you gradually reduce your ahamkara and increase your purity of your view, your mindset, drishti, you can say. Tada drashtu swarupe vastanam.
Beautiful.
Afterwards, he said like that. So it is darshana, it is yoga, most ancient source which was given by Patanjali to us. Yeah? It is darshana. You can say Atma darshana or proper mindset about everything in this life. And also I can say yoga is discipline. It is a purity of your motivation. Because many people, they don't care about motivation behind of whatever they do. There could be many exclusive techniques and different different activities. Even you can get a lot of exclusive information, but if motivation is low, then they're absolutely useless, even harmful, sometimes even harmful.
I remember
When you,
uh-huh.
yeah, please,
When
please
you
tell.
no, when you told, I don't want to cut you off, but when you told it's like giving the grenade to the monkey.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. As it is sometimes it is like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
the people they have expectation, a big expectation from yogic practices, but they cannot get some
Mm-hmm.
great state of yoga without pure motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, doesn't matter which kind of yoga. It could be karma yoga, bhakti yoga, hatha yoga, laya yoga, mantra yoga, tantra yoga. You also can say tantra. There's also sort of yoga, or you can say yoga is also tantra because tantra it is technique.
Yes. Yes.
If you see many tantric sources, they're like different scriptures. They're quite often you can see some chapters dedicated to yoga. For example, like Rudra Yamala, which is a Kaula text,
Mm-hmm.
Uttar Kanda, Rudra Yamala. So there are many yogic techniques, uh, related to asanas, different postures, and breathing regulation,
Mm-hmm.
pranayama, and dharana, and so on. So, but nobody translated because some techniques impossible to do in our environment.
Right.
So, but tantra you cannot split it. Tantra and yoga. So tantra, there are different tendencies.
Mm.
In India, majority of people they understand tantra as sort of witchcraft, abichara. The West, particularly this time, many people they understand that tantra it is sort of puja. They're related to mantra practices, different yantras, some diagrams, so some rituals. But still, many people they believe that tantra it is, that new age practices like erotic massage and so on.
Yeah, misusing of the tantra. Yeah, yeah. Specifically that
Simply,
sexual part. Yeah, yeah.
I cannot say there is no sexual, practices, but I cannot say it is particularly sexual practices. It is a special kinds of pujas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is puja anyway.
Yeah.
It is the way of transformation, impurities of our mind into enlightenment or spiritual awakening.
Right.
So, like this, yeah.
So, Guruji, some times ago we spoke about the connection or how it can be practiced, the Shri Kula and the Kali Kula as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the question for you is because I know that you practice these tantric sadhanas, and you also initiate, which is actually giving dikshas, and you teach them. So could you talk about how the practices of the Shri Vidya and the worship of Kali can be connected to the Natha Yoga?
Okay. See, so first of all, it doesn't matter which Shakta sadhana you do. Would it be Kali Upasana or Tripura Sundari, Lalita Tripura Sundari? So it is Shakti itself. Shakti means power. So we need power. So this life is full of different powers. But this life is Maya as well. So Maya, this is from root Ma, means measure. So everything what you can measuring, it is Maya. Sometimes, we go in to temple. Sometimes we worship to idols. Sometimes we do meditation, do nyasas, and so on. But this is different forms. You can say this is also Maya, but it is Shuddha Maya, pure forms, because this is tools of sadhana, different factors through which you turn your attention into pure dimension. Then, why we do it? So all these things are important for our Kundalini awakening. It's called Kundalini Jagaran. Awakening of our prana and our mind, extension of our prana, because prana, ayama, prana is vital force, and ayama means extension. So if the extension of prana, then what happened in that case? So our consciousness depends on prana. So then, subsequently, consciousness also could be extended through energy. And also Shakti, in form of goddess, is the great knowledge. It's called Mahavidya. So Mahamaya could be Mahavidya, the great knowledge. So, or Paravidya, supreme knowledge. So there's some theoretical knowledge. It's called Aparavidya. So Aparavidya you can get, in books, in universities, and through AI. It's also Aparavidya
as well. Yeah.
But there is also some spiritual knowledge. It is related to Kundalini awakening. So this knowledge you realize through worship to Mother's power, Mahavidya. Then there are 10 main Mahavidyas, but some of them belong to Kali, and some of them belong to Shri. In yogic tradition, if you see, for example, Nāth Saṃpradāya, they have upasana of Yoga Maya Balasundari. So Yoga Maya, this is a power of yoga. She's also Kundalini. If you see mantras, but it is mantras in spoken language, the Shabar mantras. But if you understand the meaning, you can see the same picture like Bala Sundari in Shri Vidya. She is young, then
Bala.
then Bala, yes, she's the girl, little girl. Then afterwards, 15 years old. Then after 15, they're 16 and 28. So Shodashi or Mahashodashi.
Mhm.
28 letters, so the different number of letters of mantra. So that age of goddess is related to the level of spiritual awakening.
Mhm.
So the term Shri, it is called abundance or richness or plenitude or something, that very great, because, our life full of plenitude, full of options. So through that options, we develop ourselves. We extend our consciousness when we are aware different factors in this life. So through this way, we can get wisdom. But there is question: what is behind of all that forms which are associated with whole universe? So there is emptiness, Parabrahma, or Brahma Gyan, Brahma Vidya.
Mm.
So therefore, Shri Vidya is Brahma Gyan.
Okay.
So it is beyond of the time and space. And if you now you are staying in Serbia, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm staying in Australia.
Yes.
So now we have here almost 9
PM. Yeah.
p.m.
In the evening. Yeah.
What time in Serbia now?
Noon time. Exactly noon time. 12. Yeah.
Okay. See, different parts of the same word, different time. Yeah.
Correct.
So for different parts, it is plenitude, and they also symbol of time.
Yes. But we
So
are sharing
when
that experience in this particular moment, both of us. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, different experiences, yeah, then if you extend that feeling, if you extend that plenitude, you can get experience of time, and that time is Kali, because Kali from root, this is in masculine case, it is Mahakala. So you are Mahakala, your name is Mahakala.
Yeah.
So, but what is different, time, you know, time is severe. Time is not waiting us. So everyone will die by time.
Yeah.
So therefore, sometimes time you can translate as a death.
Mhm.
So it is represented in form of Kali. So she looks like Ugra, like fierce in her depiction. If you see at her picture, so there she has a sword. She
The garland of skulls. Mhm.
she holds a skull, yeah, and so on. She is staying on cremation ground.
Mhm.
Then depends on what number. So what kind of Kali? There are different kinds of initiation. You know, normally normally Kali sadhana is started from Dakshina Kali, and then she has one cremation ground. Then you increase, letters of mantra, and you receive different initiations. Then after Dakshina Kali, gradually you can worship to different. There's Mashana Kali, the Adya Kali, then Bhadra Kali, Guhya Kali, Kamakala. Kamakala finally. Kamakala is Shrividya itself.
Right.
Then,
Right.
through Kali you can realize plenitude Shrividya. Then through Shrividya you can realize Kali. But Kali, she's depicted in black color. Lalita Tripura Sundari is vice versa of Kali. So she's with beautiful things. She's a
Ornaments
symbol of
and yeah.
ornaments. She's symbol of luxuries, beautiful life. So she's Saumya. Saumya and Kali, she's Ugra.
Yeah.
Some forms like Tara, sometimes Saumyogra, something between. You can find both in her nature. But anyway, Tara, she's similar to Kali. So therefore, some people, there are different kinds of people in India. Some people, they believe that if you worship to Kali, or mostly they are afraid Dumavati, then it's not good for householders. Then your family could be crushed,
Right.
because she brings you away of beautiful life. She can collapse your life, but it depends on understanding. It is psychological thing as well.
Right.
uh,
Right.
and Kali, she is dark, and Tripura Sundari, she's symbol of light. So
Hmm.
light and darkness, they are normally opposite for many people. But that primordial, if you see Nasadiya Sukta and Rig Veda, so the darkness, it is not something bad. So it is like abyss. It's like primordial mother's reality through which arise everything.
Yeah.
But in Srividya, they believe that everything arises from Prakash, from
Yes.
uh, ocean of light, from the ocean of light. So this it looked contradictional, but essentially there is no contradiction at all. If you are mature, then you're ready to practice. But there are different people; they have different levels of consciousness. Then
Yes.
consciousness. Some people, they have very weak stage of mind and energy, and so they should practice gradually. Some people, they go in quicker.
Yes.
So for some people there is no mm, serious difference. We cannot say there is no difference
Yeah.
at all. They are different. Each mind is different.
Different aspect. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, through Nāth Saṃpradāya and the practices of the tradition itself, the Yogamaya Balasundari, actually, we have the both, let's call it an aspects of the Tripura and the Kali at the same time, in a certain way.
Yeah, sure. And she's young, but at the same time she's Kali.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. So what age of her? So
And
the
Mhm.
yeah, please.
No. And the Mahakala is still there in both Nāth Saṃpradāya as well as in the for the Buddhists as well. Mahakala is the protector of the Dharma.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of the
Mahakal, protector of Dharma. He's consort of he's a Shaktiman of Kali. So he's a symbol of time.
yes.
Time. He's a time, but he's beyond of time. He gives liberation from death, from time, from
Mhm.
transmigration.
Mhm.
So in that, many yogis, they are worshiping to different devatas. Sometimes Kali, sometimes Durga. sometimes Lakshmi, depends on your personal state of mind.
Yeah,
So
sensibility and Janma Kundali also.
yeah, it could be Janma Kundali. There are many ways to reveal, what is appropriate, particularly
Yeah.
for you.
Couple of things came to my mind because I very thoroughly listened to what you told us here. These so-called opposites of the light and dark, for a brief moment, Kali and Lalita Tripura Sundari, actually very much complement each other. They are needed for each other in a way. If we go out in the darkest night, we without that dark, we could not see the stars and everything else. The grahas also we could not see. So they're both very important. And you mentioned about time, but before time, you mentioned, I think it was about the Maya. And you went to the root of the Maya. We can translate it as a measure of something, right?
Sure.
Now, it came to my mind. It's very obvious thing. For instance, scientists, they're always into measuring something, and only that which can be measured, it is the reality and the truth. Everything else is it's not reality, which is actually a very funny and ridiculous statement in a way, because there is so much more that we cannot see, or it's connected to the consciousness and the awareness of the person and so on and so forth. But interesting thing that Maya, as mostly say, it's an illusion, but also for some people, it's a measurement actually. So yeah. Very
Oh,
interesting. Very
also,
interesting.
you are touching serious subject, concerning to that root.
Mm-hmm.
Would be calculation,
Mm-hmm.
this numbers, and also you told me about scientists.
Yes.
Actually, so what actually, who are scientists? It must be open-minded people are ready for new revelation. Nowadays, many scientists they are corrupted, so they receive bribes to support different modern propaganda. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Is it possible to talk? But
Yeah.
I think majority of people they understand. So
Yes.
nowadays scientists that science their science it is sort of religion. It is in bad sense. I don't have anything opposite of religion, but there's some bad meaning of it. It's a sort of cult.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because
Mm-hmm.
if we see if you take yoga,
Mm-hmm.
what is yoga is meditation, and tantra is also extension of consciousness. Then extended consciousness, something that received
Yes.
many new kinds of hidden knowledge, and yoga as well. So how tantrikas and yogas they able to do different kinds of miracles, which we describe as forms of different siddhis. So how it is possible?
Correct.
It's not miracles. It is, I can say, it means that scientists they don't know about different laws which is hidden, particularly this time
Yes.
for majority of people, and of course for them. But through open mind, through meditation, yogis and tantrikas they reveal it. Then they use that invisible for many people laws for their different targets.
Yes. Purposes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can say that mystical way yoga, from some point of view, it is science as well. But it is a big shame that what we can see this time. that field of scientists, doctors, and so on. So it is sort of cult.
Yeah, funded by the corrupted governments. Yeah.
Yeah, we return to that question by
Mm-hmm.
which you started our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Global hypnosis, so which we should overcome.
Yes, yes. And there is additional thing actually. If you go back to the term Shastra, is actually not expertise. It is the science of something, right? We can say it like that. So many of these, the yoga, Tantra, Jyotisha, and so on and so forth, are actually can be in the category of Shastra as well. But also there is the other part, which is not only measurable by the mathematics, numbers and astronomy and everything else. There's a deep cognitive, thing about it, and the intuitiveness part, and you yourself and me as well. We spoke about many things that we somehow experience throughout our life, but not all of them can be measurable. And most of the so-called scientists nowadays, which are actually mostly, materialistic people who are like when you put that harness the horse and there is no peripheral sight, right? So and it is connected to the consciousness of that person in that particular moment, but there are so many other things which are happening around us. We are mostly blind. So, and for the very end of this topic, you also mentioned time, and we talked about Maya. You talked to, yeah, yeah, you talked about Maya as well. Yeah, yeah, about Maya and about the time as well. So you said perfectly, and we actually shared the same insight that time waits for no man. And I like to say because time waits for no man, then and time flies. So Shiva and Shakti are my pilots. So that's it, at one moment. And the next thing is about the time itself. When people say, oh, time is an illusion, because most of the time in this new age type of spirituality, people like to say like, no, everything is illusion, nothing exists, time does not exist. And I tell that person, okay, so if time does not exist, so
Yeah,
how are you as a baby when you were born, how you look now, how you will look if you are still alive in the 20 years from now. That's a shiny dev. So how time does not exist, that's a stupid thing today to say. Yeah.
no, time is real, because see, time, time is Jyotish itself.
Yeah.
See, because that rotation of planets, what is this? So it depends on time. So
Yes.
therefore, we should have respect to Jyotish. It is form of Kali. You know, yes, Kali can destroy, but Kali gives liberation for those
Hmm.
who have devotion to her, and who has a serious sincerity. Then she gives liberation from time.
Yes.
So she is very important. And the illusion or not, it is only in
In the
in our
mind.
mind.
Yeah. Yeah. We are brought into the time, and we will get out of the time as well, but for now the time is very much palpable, right? Yeah, yeah.
I cannot say that it is so easy to understand something that is beyond illusion, that kind of reality.
Mhm.
But anyway, we should understand that time, or dimension which is beyond of time, they are interrelated.
You mentioned Jyotisha part. I think in first part of our interview, you mentioned that through astrology, it doesn't matter which system at the end of the day, um, that it was one of the methods by which you obtained your monastic name, Matsyendra, through astrology as well. It's been known in ancient India, in ancient times, as a spiritual science, and that many serious yogis and sadhus, brahmins, panditas, pujaris, tantrikas, whoever, right, either practice Jyotisha, it's very much needed in certain extent, or at least highly value that discipline. And unfortunately, in the West, this view, we can say honestly that it is mostly diametrically opposed, because religions, they secretly use astrology in a way, but they openly speak against it, actually. And this is actually one of the reasons for they will try to, how should I say that, maintain us a kind of a spiritual monopoly and advocate their dogma, right? Like, which is a
they try. Yeah, they are they try to say that everything depends only from God, from the God. No, not from stars and so on, but
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
why not? Why they separated? It depends on view or on supreme reality.
Yes, yes, but as well, which kind of God? Their God, or the essence of what really is? Because they cut off the middleman, so to say, right? Because these archetypal forces and divine energies as well actually communicate with us through these grahas, in a way. We can say like that, honestly, yeah. Because more specifically, you mentioned time, and Jyotish actually measures the quality of time in which we are in the current moment, which is a very interesting thing. But this is the question for you: is it really true? Is it really true that the highly, let's call it highly spiritual people of Nepal, India, Tibet, whom you have known, that they really value Jyotisha so much, and how Jyotisha is it really important if you are talking about the spiritual ceremonies, choosing an adequate time for sadhana and some other things? What is your approach and experience about this topic?
Okay, this complicated question, but I
Mhm.
try to answer.
Mhm.
See, definitely, everywhere in India they use, for example, Panchanga. Any Mahotsava in India, any celebration in India, they do it according Indian almanac. Yeah.
Almanac, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then many sadhanas like Navaratri, then Shivaratri, Ganesh Chaturthi, many different ratris, different dates of birth of different goddesses and gods and so on, different deities.
Mhm.
So see, when you do sankalpa before any sadhana, I'm talking now about traditional sadhana. I'm not talking about how in the West they try to imitate how it goes in India. They first of all they practice declaration, sankalpa.
Yeah.
There's some resolution. Their place and time is related to Jyotish. According to Jyotish, they have own view on it.
Yeah.
Yes, then you you cannot avoid it anyway. But problem is that if you go in deeper to Jyotish,
Mhm.
there are different level of people. They're quite easy to make mistake when you see Janma Kundalis of people. Then see there how many there yogas in Jyotish, different combinations, maybe 1,000.
So
Then,
many.
then there could be some negative yoga, some Kartari yoga, and so on. Then some yogas can remove, this negative yogas.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
but if you don't know it, if you're unable to see, then there could be wrong interpretation of their gocharas and many factors. Sometimes some gurus can say, no, don't care, everyone couldn't speak true. What doesn't mean that majority of astrologers, they can make mistake.
Yes.
I heard even from some great gurus like this.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when I know one guru, one tantrika, he told me, "Oh, don't believe to anyone." But after a few minutes, he demonstrate his knowledge of Jyotisha.
Yes.
Then I got it that he he knows quite well. Then we should understand the meaning. So when some gurus saying that don't believe to Jyotish, in fact, Jyotish is very important. It is important anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you use different mantras, different rituals, in yoga, there are many practices are related to particular season.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For example, the pranayama. So you should start some people they're starting in the spring and whatever,
Yeah. And particular titties and so on and so on. Yeah.
paras and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, from my standpoint as a Jyotishi as well, but our dear friend and brother Visti Larsen, he told me like you were first in spirituality, then you came to Jyotish in a way, which actually is in a way in my life. But still, one thing which I don't like is, and that is the topic that Visti ji and myself will talk about it as well, when the people, unfortunately, even some Jyotishi put the grahas, even above the devatas, the divine itself, or some kind of misinformation of that source. It's actually the quite opposite, because these archetypal forces and energies and devas, they're communicating with us through the grahas, through the nakshatras and everything else. It's not the opposite way. So that is the thing, that without serious sadhana and without serious practice, I think there is no good Jyotishi. There is no honest Jyotishi. There is no good Jyotishi. So morality and ethics and everything must be there.
I have discussed with Larsen G. So he's a great Jyotish Acharya, and he told me the same point of view that there is a very important thing, to do upasana.
Yes.
Yes. Devata, Ishta Devata, and so on, even for Jyotish.
Yes, yes. Vistiji is a beautiful human being, and I think I will ask you maybe 2-3 questions more. But as far as the Jyotish are concerned, I remember last year we spoke. It was a very end of the last year. You mentioned to me about one astrologer from Russia, that he said that in 2023 will be the something similar like 3 years previously. That golden cages and that worldwide psychopathic things. And I told you, listen, Guruji, I don't see that happening at all. So good thing now, December, nothing happened like that in this year. So I'm glad about it. But we will speak about these things in the next part of the interview.
Yeah, but anyway, we should be very cautious about
yeah.
What's going on now, because people they're very contradictional. They have a tendency to exaggerate everything.
Yes.
We should, some people say that we shouldn't care, no, nothing is dangerous. And other people, they exaggerate, that
Correct.
They say now is the end of the world, and some people say new world order.
Yes.
So it's very ridiculous. It is absolutely stupid. So that universal order is eternal, not created by human.
Sanatana. Yeah.
Sanatana Dharma, yes. This is Rita in Shroud Sampradaya.
Yeah.
So we no need, create something new. Only psychopaths they try to, invent and make this world the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how it could be the same. How it could be the same? It is prakriti. The nature of this world is changes
Continuously.
always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
continuously, and it is plenitude. The always everything. This life full of opposite things.
Correct. The problem with people sometimes is actually okay, if that's not the same in some other country, like for me or something like that. No, it's awful. It's idiotic or something like that. It's very rude thing to do because we must celebrate the differences in a way, right? That's the
Yeah,
but not everybody is the same. How can be the same?
no difference means complete dissolution, pralaya. So there is no difference. So if you want no difference, then everything will finish.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
you even destroy yourself. They don't know what they are doing. Some people who made billions of dollars or maybe trillions of dollars, so they think they are greater than the god.
Yeah, entitled to control everybody else. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes even simple people, they when they get something, so they
Hmm.
become crazy.
Tell me, I think I read somewhere, I think it was one of your interviews. I think it's on nathas.org site. It was about the significance of the, if I recall correctly, significance of the sacrament, which is actually a sacred secret, uh, and also the responsibility and the sincere intention, uh, pure heart of the students as well, as a kind of as a door that leads to the correct transfer and implementation of knowledge. So how is it, of how great importance is that relationship between the guru and the shishya, and more specifically that part of that sacrament, that sacred secret?
Hmm. See, who is guru and what is practice? If we are considering spiritual way, sadhana as spiritual way. So mantra, so when you practice mantra, for example, mantra has the sameness with devata. So if you realize mantra, you realize devata in that dimension which you associate with yourself. So if you get siddhi, mantra siddhi, it means siddhi means success, perfection. So there are different meanings. It's not only supernatural. Supernatural, it could be, but it's a big question. What is supernatural? Then the divine presence in that sort of sadhaka or practitioner who realizes his sadhana. So he realized he's a sadhya. Sadhya means devata.
Mm.
Therefore, in guru, who is guru? Guru who realized sadhana. so who realize perfection. It is most valuable situation when you meet such kind of people. Some of them, sometimes they don't use this term guru in India. They call different Baba, different Swamis, different Tyagis, Vairagis, and so on. They avoid to communicate with people. Some accept them as gurus. But, when such yogis or gurus give initiation to someone, it is initiation by devata which they realize in sadhana. So that yogis, they are instruments, tools of devata through whom you can receive the grace of devata. So then it is very, very delicate process. You should be open, you should be very sincere to accept it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You can see many stories, even some very holy saints. Even Jesus Christ, they killed him. Even in his story, some people, they didn't accept him. Many people, they have different weaknesses inside. So that weakness is out of their control. Then yoga is discipline. So when you control, because some meaning of yoga, if you see Panini grammar, that root yuch or yunch, yoga defines that root defines samyama, perfect control of your different aspects of your nature, your subconsciousness, avachetana, and different samskaras, vasanas, so indriyas, and so on. You need a yogic stage for acceptance of grace from your guru or from devata. It doesn't matter from guru or from when you practice mantra, because you receive mantra you receive from guru, and guru, he practices that mantra, so there is some transmission, very smooth transmission. So it is the smooth transmission possible only when student is ready to receive.
The importance of keeping that secret, that sacrament that has been given through from the
secret. I can say, pure dimension or subtle, more sukshma dimension is invisible itself for majority of people. Sometimes they can feel something, sometimes partly they can see, sometimes not, because their stage of mind and indriyas. But sometimes everyone can see, can see that door to another dimension. So that another dimension is hidden for many people. Doesn't matter we like it or not. That secret, there is no secret if you are ready to see it. But if people, they're not ready, they have a lot of impurities. So even if you explain, secret things, they wouldn't understand properly. They will not see.
The impurities in them are blocking them, but at the same time, people are projecting their own insecurities towards other people. Yeah,
and there is no suggestion to share so easily mantra the devata, experience, spiritual experience with everyone, because it is your relationship.
Yes.
It is like, like you have a relationship with your wife.
Mm.
You don't talk about, your
Intimacy. Yeah. Yeah.
intimacy. Yeah. But
Mm.
it is even more than that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
intimacy is sometimes partly related to physical instincts, sometimes some psychological, but it is even beyond. It is even more powerful.
Yes. Yes. That was my
So
question.
then,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it is also so why we practice it. So what you can get from your sadhana, you can get siddhi, and siddhi it is power. Siddhi it is like a weapon. It is like, you have a very good quality of weapon, then you give it to some terrorists. So what can happen? So this is the same. So
Mm-hmm.
that terrorists, they destroy many people, and they destroy themselves
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
So then, if you give it, if you perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about you, if someone gives to, that sort of tools,
To arm
he's
people
also responsible. It is like his crime,
as well.
because he gives weapon to some people who create disaster,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you are cause of it.
Yeah. The mula, the root. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this specific question, which actually there are two, not two parts, but two aspects of how did it came about. Firstly, I see the problem with people who wants to be the students, but there is no honesty in them. That's the first thing. And the second thing, they think that they are entitled to the best guru. I deserve the best guru. I must have the best guru, and so on. That's the first part. And the second part is connected to the diksha, to the initiation itself, that people imagine all kinds of worlds that will open up immediately when they get initiated. So the question is, can you tell us something about that, the truths and the misconceptions about the diksha, and what every sincere seeker who does not deceive himself nor live in some kind of imagination should know when it comes to the matters of the initiation?
Nowadays, what I remember, maybe 20 years ago, maybe more, in India, they didn't care so much about give transmission of dikshas to many foreigners.
Yeah.
But nowadays it is a big market.
Mm.
Sometimes there you can see there plenty of dikshas and different
Diksha market.
yeah, diksha market, and that people, they don't care about real stage of morality of students. I don't think that something serious happen if you receive diksha without serious respect to guru. And I don't say that dakshina, it is a wrong thing from shishya to sometimes, but if it is the main part uh, of
Relationship.
relationship,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
then this is a problem. This is problem, and and many Indian people, what I saw, they wanted to go to the West. They believe that West, it is the best reality,
Heaven.
and there are many ambitions, even heaven, yeah, many ambitions. The many interests about power, different kinds of power, social power, and they forget about purity of motivation. It happened with gurus, and it happened with I can say shishyas and gurus, shishyas, and so on. This is very typical problem this time. So then, but it depends on you. What you want actually.
Yes.
So which is your target? So how you sincere? For sincerity, you should have very big disappointments, very big disappointment concerning to life. But it's not like, oh, I'm very disappointed. The like sort of drama. No, you should see, useless of many things in this life. Then you have very deep interest. You care about, very profound revelation, spiritual revelation. If you sincere, then you meet sincere guru. Who is sincere guru? He's sincere practitioner.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very beautiful. Yeah, especially the part how you explained that without being too dramatic about the people who are, fed up with life and I can take it anymore, but the motives is what drives them. And I think in previous part of our interview, you mentioned specifically about the people. It was mostly about the Indians, but it doesn't need to be Indians. It's people who are coming from these, backgrounds of poverty and everything else. And we go to the West and they succeed in the West in particular domain. And they like to be the bigger caliph than caliph itself. Like, look at me. I'm the best. Everybody home, look at me. So yeah, there is that kind of problem as well. For the very end of this part, I thought about asking you the question which somebody asked you I think it was in Argentina in 2014 or something like that, some 9 years ago. So let me open. The question was like this. What is the mind according to your understanding? And your answer was, it was a brief answer. Mind is what controls our feelings, indriyas. The mind can be controlled via prana, which is pranayama, and a yogi is able to control prana through nada sound, which happens in the anahata.
Yeah. Yeah, it is from many sources. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then a yogi dissolves his mind in the universal source of consciousness. He reaches samadhi. The mind can be our friend if it is enlightened one, which agrees with heart. However, the mind can be an enemy in case it clings to the limitation of this world. You explain it beautifully only in a couple of sentences. So,
yes,
my question is not completely related to the technical details and the whole process because it is a large thing to talk about. It's more connected to this, let's call it a fatality of the identification that we as humans have, and as a result of which we often suffer because we want to identify with something, and as well as the excessive and that convulsive grasping for various concepts and everything that was imposed on us through the either education system or family and environment, or as well as the brainwashing which we had specifically the last 4 years through the media. So which in a way it conditioned us to the extent that it made it almost impossible for us to live healthy. And also I think that the control, when we think that we are controlling something, that control is maybe an imprecise term, because in principle we can hardly say that we control anything at all. But for the mind to become our ally, right, and that spiritual practice, especially yoga, can play a huge role. So the question is how to see through these limitations and overcome them, so that the mind really becomes, as you say, our friend, and we see, things very crystal clear.
Okay, so actually, it is not my description of the process of control, by mind and mind by prana. It is from Hatha Yoga Pradipika, but not only. Many texts of Goraknath and so on, different Siddha Purushas. And if we have vikaras, imperfections of mind, so we cannot control our mind by this mind. So it's very obvious. So then there are different ways how to do it. So one option is, you control mind through something innate, which we have, naturally. So it is our breathing. You can see some suktas in Vedas dedicated to prana. So prana actually is described as a Prajapati itself, creator of whole universe, like Parabrahma. So then it is not general vital force like many people understand it. So there are different views on that notion, which is called prana. Also, it's not only something spoken. When we are chatting, so we use our mind, we use our consciousness. So there is some meaning which is expressed by particular words, some sentences, and so on.
Yeah.
So then that meaning of words, it's called mantra as well. If you go in deeper, then that vibration, which is called anahata, it is Shabda Brahma itself. So anahata vibration, it is a Shakti of Parabrahman. It's Shabda Brahman, is a Shakti of Parabrahman. Then there is a Paravak level, which is absolutely the same with Parabrahman. So they are much deeper view. You can see it, in Bible. There are some ideas of logos. But in India, this conception is explained in details, more details. Yeah. Then two ways. So one, you extend your mind. What problem of mind? Because mind of mundane people try to catching, grasping like this, some things like this. But when your arms are busy, so you unable to catch something else. So with mind happens something like this. So the contraction of mind, and you need extension. It is called unmana, extension, rising of mind, beyond mind.
Mm-hmm.
So then empty mind, you are ready to receive more knowledge. Then few options of it. One through pranayama in hatha yoga, and finally you can review that anahata sound, or through guru's grace or devata's grace, anugraha. So when you see something very, very pure. So your mind naturally, your mind becomes like flower, which receives light of Shiva.
Right.
So, and flower, start to flowering, like Shri. We talked about Shri
Yeah.
Vidya. Then you realize Unmana Avastha. So two options. One is Hatha Yogic and Shakti path. Actually, few more, but if you see most important, but they are interrelated. In fact, yeah.
So
Okay.
it is like you explained it beautifully. At the end of the day, we can conclude that we already know, and that is there is no freedom nor peace of mind without great discipline and responsibility. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guruji, this session was phenomenal, exceptional. I really liked it, really enjoyed it. We will continue probably sometimes in next year with part number 4. Thank you for everything, Adesh, and well, the most important thing is I love you. So that's it.
Yes, it is mutual. It is, of course.